The answer was, we could. With a championship medal hanging on my wall and Jill by my side, the rest of that school year was better than I expected. I slowly started to accept the new reality regarding my parents. Then, summer came along and ruined everything. Somewhere in the middle of the hot months, both of my parents started dating other people. I didn't like this at all, but I was still learning how to deal with them being apart. But to see them with someone new? No. Mom's boyfriend was a guy named Victor. He traveled a lot for work, so I didn't have to see him often. In fact, I saw his daughter Gina more often than him. Gina's kind of strange, but I suppose she was nice enough. I can't say the same for Breck. His mom, Valentina, was my dad's new girlfriend. They were around a lot. Breck probably spent more time at my dad's apartment than I did. And I know he went in my room when I wasn't there, which is not cool. But that's not the worst part. The worst part was Breck played hockey too. When he first introduced us, Dad played up that similarity a lot. He said how I was a born hockey player, something he'd been saying about me since I first picked up a plastic hockey stick as a toddler and chased a yellow foam ball around the house, whacking it. Only this time, after he said it, he paused and added, "And I suppose Breck is too." I didn't like that. Not one bit. Chapter 1. I've never had to try out for a team before. Sure, the House League had an event called Rate Skate. That was when all of the players did drills and then scrimmaged so the league officials could rate each player's skill level. They gave everyone a number between 1 and 5. Later, when the coaches drafted their teams, everyone got a similar number of players at each skill level. They did this so it was fair. And when I thought about it, I realized most of those teams were all pretty even, so it must have worked. Of course, I figured out there had to be some sort of agreement between coaches, because every year, each coach seemed to end up with a lot of the same players. I mean, I played with Jill every single year from mite through peewee. Some of this came from parents making requests, but I think the coaches had a lot to do with it too. The point was, I ended up playing for Coach Volka every year. So did his son, Spencer, and other kids like Carson and Jill. That was no accident. This year was different, though. I was trying out for the travel teams, what some people call rep. We called them by a simpler name, A for the premier or varsity team, and B for the junior varsity squad. Today was Sunday, the second day of tryouts. We skated 90 minutes yesterday, and today's session was going to be the same. I'd been on the ice for over half an hour already, sweating through drill after drill. Some drills focused on skating, including sharp turns and going backward. Others incorporated puck control or passing. And of course, there were plenty of shooting drills too. I wasn't the only one trying out. Jill was one of 5 goaltenders vying for 2 positions on each squad. That meant one of them was going to be left out in the cold. Even though I had confidence in Jill's ability, I had a crazy worry she'd be number 5 and be forced to play in the House League again. That wouldn't be a good thing. This was our second peewee season and our chance to impress the coaches who would be choosing the rep teams for Bantam next year. Both of us were moving up to Bantam after this season due to our ages. As crazy as it sounded, Bantam was the level that drew scouts from the WHL. The Western Hockey League was the league the Spokane Chiefs played in, a team I'd been going to see at the arena since I could remember. The idea we might have a shot to be in that league blew my mind, but it was real. Even more real than that was the fact the NHL scouts watched for players in the WHL and frequently drafted them. The NHL! There was a clear progression that both Jill and I saw. Peewee rep, to Bantam rep, to the WHL, to the